Coming up, the University of Kentucky Senate makes a crucial decision regarding President Eli Capilouto.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. The first Monday after graduation is often a time for many to take a load off, but on UK's campus, this day weighed heavily on dozens of faculty members. The University of Kentucky Senate voted that they have no confidence in President Eli Capilouto. It comes after the Board of Trustees approved changes to strip the Senate of its policy-making power. Jeremy Toms was at the meeting today.
We are here today 100% due to the president. These last several months have been a low point for the University of Kentucky.
Those months were filled with meetings and debates over the future of shared governance at UK.
We've had 3 resolutions where we've asked them to slow down, and each time we've asked for examples. What is going wrong that needs to be fixed? Each time we don't get an answer, and my ability to come up with other explanations other than it's just a power grab have just slipped away one by one.
That culminated in the Board of Trustees' vote to take away the Senate's policy-making power, moving them into an advisory role.
When do you say enough is enough? When do you say, this is not okay anymore?
It left the senators to make a last-ditch effort on Monday by taking an attention-getting vote.
We have 58 approved, 24 opposed, and 11 abstentions.
No confidence in President Eli Capilouto was the outcome. That sentiment isn't shared by all.
Let me be clear. The Board of Trustees unequivocally supports President Capilouto.
So what will the vote mean?
We know that a vote of no confidence isn't going to do anything, but it says going forward, we see what's going on, we know what you've done, we know how you've divided the university community against each other.
The Board of Trustees touted the university's accomplishments under Capilouto, from expansions in healthcare to record enrollments.
With your commitment and with the leadership of President Eli Capilouto, UK has set the bar of expectations higher.
But faculty say the bar for their collective morale has hit a low, and they want Capilouto to respond.
So I hope he's willing to sit down with us and tell us what does he think is the next step. Now, that's what great leaders do. They come with solutions.
In Lexington, Jeremy Toms, WKYT.
The resolution also calls on the Board of Trustees to redo its process of shared governance reform. As it stands, the board is scheduled to give final approval to those changes next month. Senate leadership says they are considering holding an emergency meeting before then and possibly extend their vote of no confidence to include the board. Now to a developing story we're following tonight. 3 young people were injured in a serious crash in Breathitt County. It happened on Jet Drive in Jackson near an assisted living facility. Several people and groups have posted on social media asking for prayers for 3 young athletes. Police say at least 2 needed treatment at a trauma center. Their names and conditions have not been released by officials.
After some thunderstorms earlier today, we are tracking some more showers to close out your Monday, but some good news, no severe storms this evening. Let's go to the radar. You can see we are still tracking some spotty rain chances, but nothing terribly heavy. The heaviest on the board just south of downtown Pikeville, pushing to the south and east close to Elkhorn City and Phelps over the next little bit there. A few light to moderate showers here and a few more light showers in the Big Sandy Valley from Wayne County, pushing into parts of Martin County, also into southern Lawrence County. And speaking of southern Lawrence County, we do have a flash flood warning in place south of Louisa for extreme southern Lawrence County, and that will last through 11:30 this evening. Most of us right now in the middle to lower 60s under a cloudy sky, so we stay in the middle to lower 60s to wake up on Tuesday. A few more showers are possible overnight, but again, no severe storms tonight, but that could change by tomorrow, also on Wednesday, as we are watching out for 2 different threats for severe storms. Those details coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
Cameron, thanks. Police are investigating after a body was found in Harland County. A deputy coroner pronounced a 55-year-old man dead this afternoon at a home in the Cold Iron community. The body is being sent to the state medical examiner's office to determine the exact cause and manner of death. The name of the person who died has not been released. In southern Kentucky, Pulaski County officials are sharing the details of a series of shootings that spanned 2 counties. The sheriff's office says they believe Angela Gosser shot and killed her husband, Larry Gosser, a former Fish and Wildlife officer, then drove to Russell County where she shot and killed her sister and engaged in a shootout with her brother. Angela died and her brother was seriously hurt. It is not clear what led up to these shootings.
Still open for investigation. We're still looking at the motive and reason. We're going to work closely with the detectives are right now back there working on our end of it. Going to work closely with Kentucky State Police and Columbia Post.
Visitation for Larry Gosser will be tomorrow evening after 5 at Wilson Funeral Home in Russell Springs. His funeral is set for 2 Wednesday afternoon at the funeral home. Surveillance video from a Somerset home recorded the sound of a deadly explosion over the weekend. The incident happened inside a garage in the 200 block of Hidden Crest Drive, close to U.S. Highway 27. Officials say the incident is believed to be connected with fireworks and other material in the garage that resulted in the death of 43-year-old Christopher Feinberg. 3 others were hurt. Police in Lexington say setting off fireworks can lead to penalties, with a first offense in a span of 12 months carrying a $250 fine, a second offense a $500 fine, and a third offense a $1,000 fine. The Lexington Fire Department says even some legal handheld sparkles can lead to injuries that should be treated as soon as possible.
If it's some type of burn injury, what you want to do is use something cold to compress that injury. If it's something that is bleeding, you can also use something to compress that injury, and you can hold pressure on it until it stops bleeding.
Officials are still working to determine the official cause of that explosion in Somerset. Officials with Harland County schools are working to keep staff and students safe in case of an emergency. Officials have installed metal detectors at Harland County High School. Before coming into the school, students will have to walk through the detectors. District Chief of Police Matt Cope says it detects heavy metals found in weapons versus other types of detectors that detects all metals. He says they want it to serve as a deterrent.
We're fortunate here that we do have 2 SROs that are assigned here to Harland County High School, as well as assigned to all of our schools in the district. So this is a significant security improvement, but it also serves as a deterrent. So if anyone may have been thinking possibly ever bringing anything to a school campus, you know, there is a deterrent that they know they're going to have to go through those detectors, and that's what we're after.
Cope says this is just one of several safety measures they have implemented during the school year. The number of book titles targeted for censorship increased 65% in 2023 compared to 2022, reaching the highest levels ever documented by the American Library Association. In an effort to earn a high honor, one Girl Scout is promoting banned book awareness. WYMT's Jack Demler was in Moorhead to learn about her efforts.
In March of 2023, Senate Bill 5 was passed in Kentucky, requiring local boards of education to adopt policies to prevent educationally unsuitable material from being introduced into the school library or being on school property. Book banning continues to be prevalent across the nation.
Book banning is wrong because it silences people.
That's why, in an effort to complete an 80-hour community-oriented project, Katie Hardesty hosted a program at Coffee Tree Books in Moorhead centered around the history of book banning, a project that brought her through a world of censored stories.
I have read just some banned books that have made such an impact on my life, that have changed my way of thinking so much already. And I feel like that's really why banned books are important.
The program included an educational aspect of the history of banned books and focused on 2 books, The Hate U Give and Anne Frank's Diary, the graphic adaptation.
I wanted to involve everyone because it is also educational, so I wanted to make it so if you hadn't read the book, it would be okay, but I also wanted to choose books that I felt like a lot of girls from the age group I'm targeting would be reading them.
While she wants people to stop book banning, Hardesty says the real focus is for people to understand why book banning shouldn't happen.
Even if you don't agree with someone, you shouldn't be trying to silence their voices. Everybody should get a chance to share their ideas and thoughts.
Emphasizing the importance of ending book banning. In Moorhead, Jack Demler, WYMT Mountain News.
Hardesty says all of the banned books she has read, her favorites include The Hate You Give and All Quiet on the Western Front. The city of Pikeville is preparing for its second Funapalooza. The event, a day of accessible fun for people with mobility challenges, plans to bring community members to the city park for an obstacle course, games, and more. The event was the brainchild of City Commissioner Steve Hartsock, who brought it to Kevin Roberts to help create something for folks who may not always be able to participate in the city events because of their wheelchairs, walkers, or other mobility hurdles.
Found all kinds of just great little things that could be done. The best part for us, of course, is seeing all those looks on everyone's face.
The event is set for Saturday, May 18th at 11 a.m. and is open to the public free of charge. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, Israel's war cabinet says a ceasefire proposal that Hamas agreed to is far from acceptable.
Plus, we are tracking 2 rounds of potential severe storms this week. Your forecast coming up.